So I don't really think this video needs an intro because it's breaking news thanks to one of you awesome rebels. And on that note, we are also 15 minutes away, by the way, from new Just Cause 3 gameplay from Nerdcube right now, this moment, as I'm making this video. But obviously, by the time this video goes up, that video will already be up, so I'm super hyped. And also that I would appreciate if you guys could drop a like on the video if you're an absolutely amazing, awesome rebel, and let's just get into it. So one of you cool rebels who goes by the name Tobercold, I really hope that is how you pronounce it, basically sent me these 3 pictures. Now we do have 10 confirmed sports cars, 9 confirmed helicopters, and 6 aircrafts, and also a start screen, as you can see. So I'm gonna start off with the vehicles, and as you can see right at the top, we do have a Kerner. I'm not even gonna try and pronounce that second word, but let's just call it a Kerner R. And I believe we haven't yet seen this vehicle at this moment in time. I might be completely wrong, but it doesn't look familiar to me. But the second one definitely does look familiar, and that is the Verdelon 3. Now, I do think we did see this in Toby Games' video, that orange vehicle as you can see on screen. The next one we do have is the weaponized Kerner, and I believe this is the one we did see in the first gameplay trailer. Again, as you can see, and then we got all the other vehicles. I'm not going to waste any time on actually read the names out. You guys can see them, but I'm just going to point out the ones that I do think we have seen, and one of them is actually the Miguelo. And first of all, we saw this in that Dev Diary video, if you guys can remember. That is that brand name, and I think this is that same silver vehicle that we saw in the Firestarter trailer where it just crashed into the wall and jumped over the bridge. I'm more or less 100% sure this is that exact vehicle. And then right at the end, of course, we do have that Formula 1 car, which is called the Miguelo Farina Duro. And as you can see, there are loads of Miguelos actually. I just thought I'd point that out. And going back to that video where we first ever spotted the name Miguelo, I remember telling you guys it's like a high-class brand, high-class sports car, sort of a rich brand if that makes sense. And if you just take a look at these vehicles, like the picture, they seem like really rich and expensive cars, I guess you could say. So yeah, that is looking really awesome. Now moving on to the helicopters. Helicopters, by the way, it's just one of those things that I will not know if we've seen or not. Like, most of them look the same to me, but I definitely can confirm we have seen the top one or the second one in one of the gameplay videos recently that we saw it in green. I can't remember which gameplay video it was, but I'm 100% sure we did see it. But the one helicopter that stood out to me the most on this entire list is the one going up 3 from the bottom. I'll just put a circle around it, and this is one of those helicopters that can actually land on water. And I guess to give you guys like a better image, if you guys have ever played GTA San Andreas, if you remember on the mansion, there was basically like this exact helicopter. I know it's 2 completely different games, but I know loads of people have played that game in their lifetime, so you might be familiar with this style of helicopter, and I generally think it does look cool. Now, the 2 bottom ones, I mean, they definitely look exactly the same, but they have different names, so I'm assuming one might be more powerful in terms of damage than the other one, or maybe in terms of speed or something along those lines. Now moving on to the 6 aircrafts we have. The first one, we do have the Ergo U-17, and again, I definitely think we have seen this one. This in fact is the blue one that we saw in the gameplay video if I'm not mistaken. The second one I believe we've seen as well in loads of gameplay videos recently. The first time I think we saw it was in Nerdcube's gameplay video, the first ever Just Cause 3 gameplay video by a YouTuber. Again, I'm not 100% sure because I could be mixing that up with the U7 Dravic. As you can see, they sort of look similar. And the other one in between that, I think we have seen that. Again, not 100% sure, but it sort of does look familiar. And then the one that stands out the most, of course, is that big ass cargo plane, I guess you could say. We've seen this so many times. First of all, in the This Is Just Cause 3 trailer, and then, of course, in the recent gameplay trailer from Just Cause themselves over on their channel when it was flying over the buildings. And now we have an official name for it. It is called the U-41, and I'm just just not gonna pronounce that. I think it's called the Pitacogesta or Pitacogesta. Really not sure how you pronounce that. It's sort of like a complicated word-ish, sort of. You get what I mean. But yeah, it definitely does look cool. But I feel like we've seen more or less every single aircraft on this list right now, but I just can't remember what gameplay videos they were from. And to be honest with you guys, I'm not sure if these are only the planes that are going to be making an appearance as well. We are yet to find out. But going back to the helicopter list, something that stood out to me again was basically the timer, I guess you could say. As you guys can see, it does say unlocks in 25 minutes 11 seconds. Now, not too long ago, one of you rebels told me that there's gonna be basically like a timer on the rebel drop. Like, you can only basically get one thing at a time, and then you have to wait a certain amount of time basically, but you can reduce that by upgrading various other stuff in the game. Now, I generally think this is exactly what it is, and I think it might vary on the vehicle you're trying to get. I mean, this, like I said, says 25 minutes just to get a helicopter, and considering that is a big vehicle, it would probably make a lot of sense. So I'm thinking the time is going to be a lot shorter for a vehicle or a motorcycle, for example, compared to a helicopter, and then I generally think getting a plane might be slightly longer by a couple of minutes. Now, the last thing I gotta show you guys, of course, is the start screen. You can see it says continue, start a new game, store DLC, options, links them, and go online. But I think this is basically going to like the online challenges, like competing with friends and stuff like that, getting a better time and all that sort of stuff. That's what I think it is, but you never know, it might be multiplayer. And of course, the nice little feature is you can just continue the game wherever you left it. Now, I'm also thinking that the background image, or who knows, it could possibly be a video as well. Like, Rico might be moving, the trees and flowers might be, you know, moving as well with the wind. I think that'd be cool, or it might just be a still image, but I'm thinking that is possibly going to vary as well, maybe depending on the last location that you were visiting in the game. But anyway, that was the breaking news. Really wanted to share it with you guys because this is absolutely crazy awesome. Big thank you to the awesome rebel who shared this with me. And that about wraps up the video. Be sure to subscribe if you guys haven't already for more Just Cause free content, and I will catch you guys in the next one. But till then, adios amigos.